Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Aditya, and you're listening to another conversation discussing the role of AI in education. So, AI has become such an integral part of our daily lives, especially how we teach and learn. And it's so important to discuss and share the learnings with others as to how we can leverage it into something more. So, the goal of this podcast is to dive deep into different aspects of AI in education and the creator space. So, will explore its current applications, discuss its potential benefits and challenges, and imagine the future of learning together. So, in today's episode, I have with me Ed. Ed is working in the creator space, helping others leverage AI. So let's start off with learning more about him. So hello, Ed. Can you tell us more about yourself, your background, and your what you do?
Hey Aditya, first of all, thanks for having me. Appreciate the invite, and it's really nice to finally meet the founder behind the PMFM. Um, yeah, so I'm a creator and entrepreneur as well. My background is in marketing. I've been in the marketing space for a few years now, and I've learned AI since it came out. The first public version of GPT, the one that went viral and everybody started using. So I'm not a technical guy too much, even though I know some technical bits here and there, but I'm more creative, I would say. So that's why I get good results with AI. So basically, what I do, I help creators build Ikigai centered AI powered personal brands. So a brand that pays you to be you. And we leverage AI because the whole point of leveraging AI is to scale the brand as fast as possible. So you scale your thinking, you don't scale your typing. So how fast you write content.
And what exactly is like an Ikigai bot? Because that's not too many times I've heard of it. Can you share more, like an example or something?
Yeah, sure. So, first of all, Ikigai is your reason for being. Is a Japanese ancient wisdom concept, right? So, what it means basically, it's an intersection of what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. So, the way I look as a other personal brand is just a public expression of your Ikigai. So, basically, a personal brand is the best vehicle right now, is the best opportunity to find, amplify, and monetize your ikigai. So that's the whole point of an ikigai centered personal brand, because you need to have you need to be fulfilled, right? You need to have fulfillment in your work, because if you go into personal branding and just because it's the new thing, right? It's the new trend. So I want to just make some money. It's just not gonna work. You burn out. You quit faster than you can make any life changing amount of money or anything like that. So that's the idea behind Ikigai Center. And then AI powered is all about scaling that personal brand.
That's interesting. And so, is it more like a persona of a brand, or any? Is it limited to like a brand, or can anyone have their own Ikigai AI bot?
Yeah, so an Ikigai is something really personal. So it's not. It's, so yeah, everybody has their own unique Ikigai. And what I've done, the way I've got to this idea, right? So I was lost, I had no idea what to do, and I knew about Ikigai. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do my Ikigai. So I started doing my Ikigai, and then I was using AI at the same time. So I was, how about I try to do this, but by using AI, because AI can synthesize the answers and give you some like unique insights that probably you didn't think of before, right? So I've just tried to create this like mega prompt of creating your Ikigai using AI, and it worked pretty well for me, right? So it's like, okay, it might be something here. This could actually be something. And then I moved into creating a better prompt, with more specific questions, the targeted questions. So now I have the app built on Pmfm, your software, that actually finds your brand ikigai, and once you do this process, right, you can generate your core message, so who you help, how you help them, and what you help them achieve, and then it's going to pinpoint some niche ideas based on your Ikigai as well.
That's very interesting. And how exactly are like these ikigais built? Is it just a prompt that is enough for these or ikigais, or do we need like a lot of information to like build them, or to work with them?
Yeah, so basically it has some specific targeted questions for each element of the Ikigai part. So for example, what you love, right? So here is about your passion, what you're passionate about. This doesn't necessarily have to be something that you can be paid for, right? It's just like about your passion. And then I've created some targeted questions for this part of the Ikigai, and then I've instructed AI to actually ask you the first question, right, and then based on your answer to build upon your answer and ask a follow-up question and so on. So basically it doesn't do your Ikigai, but it forces you to reflect on your Ikigai. It forces you to reflect on what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for, and then at the end basically synthesizing everything and is giving you like the final answer.
Yeah, thank you for explaining that. I think that's very helpful. Um, is so is are is or is the use case limited to like just brands, or there can other educators or like students or anyone in the education space also leverage these ikigai thoughts, or just these ikigais? How exactly do they benefit from such a thing?
I've limited to only brands just because
Okay.
that's what I teach. That's what I teach personal branding, content creation, and all that kind of stuff. But it's not limited to just brands. I can always like change some things here and there and make it actually, just like, because my first prompt wasn't tailored to brands. It was basically like a general prompt helping you to find your Ikigai. But now I've tailored it to personal brands because that's the people I work with, and that's what I teach.
And what is the how what is the adoption like of these brands that you work with? Are they how receptive are they? Are they very interested in using ikigais, or what is their response like when you share them this ikigai concept?
Yeah, they're quite receptive, and if they're not, I'm gonna explain to them the benefits and of doing it, and then they will become receptive. But I guess it depends who I'm working with, right? Because I can I have different types of clients. So it could be someone that they start from scratch. They just want to get into personal branding because I don't know, they saw a YouTube video, right? So they don't know their niche. They don't know like what they want to talk about. They don't know anything, right? So then I'm gonna tell them to use the Ikigai bot and do like a deep self-discovery process. So you can leverage that. But however, if someone is already established in the space and they want to work with me, so they already know, okay, I'm an fitness guy, or like I'm an educator, or like whatever the niche might be, then I'm still gonna tell them, hey, do this Ikigai exercise just to nail down your niche, like to pinpoint really precise, and to be clear about everything that you do, and then we're gonna move on to the next step. Because the way I do things in personal branding, so everything is Ikigai centered, and then your ICP, your ideal customer profile, is based on your Ikigai. Your content strategy is based on your Ikigai. So everything else, your offer, is based on your Ikigai. So that's why I always tell them to start with this, because we're gonna build upon this exercise later on.
That's interesting. And do you generally use like OpenAI models for these, or what is your go-to LLM, or just your general experience using different LLMs? Is one LLM, for example, better than the other one? Are there some benchmarks to use, or is it not relevant to the brands what or what LLMs that you use?
Yeah, so I used to use OpenAI in the past, and I've changed everything. I've switched all my apps to Claude 3.5 Sonnet, because Claude is just way better at writing copy. So I've created, I don't know if you saw my apps, like if you had like a quick glance over them, but basically I've created some apps that they're for idea generation, Ikigai discovery, and content creation and offer building. So Claude is really good for copywriting, for writing content, for writing scripts. Um, OpenAI, I would say, is decent for research and for idea generation.
Yeah, that's like it's also the response that I'm getting from other creators as well, that Claude is performing much better at a lot of tasks than OpenAI. Do
Yeah,
you
for sure.
see this? Yeah. Do you see like um, I guess, do you see a point where the LLM um, or I guess let me rephrase that. How important is the choice of LLM for building such AI apps? Because let's say Claude was to just disappear suddenly, would it make any difference in your workflows or LLMs? The reason I'm asking this as like as running this PMFM platform is that I also want to learn about how important is the choice of an LLM, because I could, just be like, I could offer all these choices and then just use like an OpenAI model for everything, and no one would even notice that. Yeah.
Um, I would say if Claude were to disappear, then it would make it harder for me for sure in terms of my workflows. However, I'm pretty sure I could manage with just OpenAI. If I just tweak the prompts a bit, give it more context, more examples, leverage more the knowledge bases and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, like to be fair, on the platform on PMFM, I didn't use anything apart from OpenAI and Claude. That's it. Like I didn't even touch the rest of them, and there are a lot in there. I saw that.
Yeah, you gotta check out Google and the Meta models as well. They're fairly decent as well. So I guess we talked about AI, and so another question I had was, what are some challenges you see using, as you mentioned, you're using Claude. So, is Claude delivering like to is it doing everything that you wanted in the first place, or are there some challenges still, even though it remains your top choice while you're working with, your AI apps for Ikigai or whatever?
Yeah, nowadays I would say 8 times out of 10 I get the good output, because I've perfected the prompt. So I've been working on the prompts long before PMFM. So I had a workflow in place, but I was just it wasn't as structured like in one place, just like having an app. So I was just run this prompt and then the next prompt and then the next prompt and so on. So I would say now I pretty much control the output to a certain extent, of course, like 8 times out of 10, but still I have. So basically, I've instructed, to give you an example. So I've created the prompt for creating tweets or like long form content on X. So I said, do not use AI words like in the sea of sameness, or like some Trump's perfection, or like some like big fancy, lofty AI words. So I said that in the prompt, and he's still using them, right? So he just doesn't want to do that. So like small things like that. But I would say the output is 80% perfect. You still need human editing at the end. Like just to make sure it's actually in your writing style, in your tone of voice. It resonates with you, like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I totally get that. Recently, I had a customer who was basically complaining to me that why is it not like working how I prompted it to work. So I was like, I cannot, how do I fix that? Anyway, yeah. Um, so yeah, what do you think is the what do you think is the short-term future like with AI in the AI apps? For example, I see, expanding to or AI getting better at other interfaces like avatars and voice and like becoming a bit more platform independent. So, for example, like a PMFM app could work on different platforms like WhatsApp, Telegram, mobile app, and plus website as it does. Where do you see like AI evolving to in the next, I guess, 2 to 3 years, and in the next 5 years? Do you think your job is also at risk of someone doing this because we'll just have like another AI to being what you're doing right now?
um, I'd say if you're afraid that AI will take your job, then you're not doing a good enough job. It's like most of my clients, they work with me not necessarily for my AI apps, but for me, like for my personal brand, like my message, my core beliefs, like what I stand for, like my life ideology and branding philosophy and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, to go back to your question, I would say AI would be, so if you think about the internet, for example, right, the World Wide Web, like it just is. Nobody talks about it. Oh, are you using the internet? Are you searching on Google? No, it just is. It's just in our societies embedded here, right? So it will be the same with AI, like really, really soon. So it'll just be there, because now it's still a case of like on X, on Twitter, I see this a lot. Oh, are you writing with AI? Oh no, you shouldn't be writing with AI, or like you shouldn't do this with AI, or like or they can no. Everybody will do it. It will just be there. It just is. It's a part of us. And like the ones who learn how to use it faster, like to leverage it, like right now when it's still not as widespread as it will be, then they will win big later on. In my view.
So basically, I guess whoever is learning to adopt AI has like a better chance of, I guess, survival in the long term.
That's right.
And you mentioned X over there. So is how different is, because I think you said you're also active on X. How different is like X versus other platforms like Facebook or LinkedIn when it comes to working with like AI, and it comes to like long form marketing or doing any sort of marketing related AI apps? Curious though.
Um, what do you mean? Like how different in
Yeah.
terms of?
So what I mean is that does certain content work? Like, is AI content working better on X versus other platforms, or you haven't tried doing that so far?
Yeah, I haven't tried other platforms, but what I would say to that, I would say that it doesn't matter if it's AI content or not. Good content is good content. So if it's AI generated or not, that shouldn't be a factor, because you can generate good content with AI or you can generate bad content with AI. But then it's all about if you know what makes good content, right? So if you know what makes good content, then that's good content. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter if it's AI generated or not.
I guess so. But do you see that these platforms, getting a bit concerned about AI content and just, banning the use of AI whatsoever and everything?
Yeah, just like to reference back to when I say AI content, I'm not talking about deep fakes or like videos with someone's face and like voiceovers, fake voiceovers, and all that kind of stuff. I'm basically talking about writing on my profile, writing that sounds in my style and tone of voice, writing that it actually could be me writing that, but I just prefer to outsource my typing to AI and just think about the concept behind the writing. So I would say, yeah, it could be a concern, especially on YouTube and on Instagram and all like the visual platforms, right? Because you can basically take someone's face and just replace it with a deep fake, and then get like a snapshot of their voice, clone their voice, and then just do like a whole scam kind of thing, right? In, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. So it is a bit concerning because this kind of technology is so accessible, right? Even if you're not a tech guy, if you're not that, technical, you can still create a deep fake in 5 minutes nowadays. So yeah, it is a bit concerning in that respect.
Great. But so what are, yeah, it's, but since you mentioned that, you're like training it on your content, so could it be that you could train it on others' content and not just, videos, but like the posts that are probably just text only? And you trained the AI pod on their content, and then you're, using that to create posts. Do you think that there could be like some, I guess like some future where some things like, for example, some laws passed around not like holding, having some serious like penalties or serious like, I guess, charges for that. For that, like, is it falling maybe akin to like copyright infringement? Probably.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, I can definitely train it on someone else's content, and actually, that's what I'm working on at the moment. I'm changing my offer a little bit to done for you. So basically, I give someone an app, built on Pmfm and train on their content so they can use. But yeah, I'd say because I don't really know, to be fair, because I have a background in SEO as well, so I know a bit of SEO, and then the Google basically said that, hey, we don't care if it's AI generated, we care only if it's valuable content for the public, right? If it's people first content and not SEO first content, then that's what we care about. So yeah, I don't know if how this will affect the platforms and all that kind of stuff. But what I know is that if the content is good and you don't have any bad intention, right, and you always spread value, you give advice, you share insights, you share all that kind of stuff, it doesn't make any sense why the platform will penalize you for good content. You know what I mean? AI generated or not.
That makes sense. I guess yeah, I think so. Yeah, I guess I'll wrap it up with one final question. Since you mentioned, you're working in the creator economy space, what do you think is the impact of AI now in the creator economy? And do you see it, like, where do you see it in probably in the next 5 years? Because creator economy, even without AI, is like, I think it's worth in hundreds of billions of dollars. And with AI, where do you see it going? And especially like with monetization, how much of like, I guess, how much leverage do creators have while using AI models and tools like my platform to actually grow their space and contribute to the creator economy? Do you see like AI becoming like a major portion, major factor in like contributing to the creator economy space in probably the next 5 years?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the way I see AI right now is still kind of hard to get good content out of it. You need to be not technical, but you need to know the knowledge behind what makes good content, right? But in a few years, I'd say AI will get so good that like someone that has no idea about content will just go on AI and say, "Hey, write me a script about I don't know, Ikigai centered AI powered personal brand," or like whatever, just like some topic, or hey, write me a tweet about this and that, and the content will be so good, right, that you can just copy and paste it to X, right? So like everybody will have access to good content straight away, because that's what sets you apart in a personal brand and in the creator economy. So like if you have good content, then okay, you're winning. If you right, so the like good content will be so accessible to everybody that won't be. I mean, I guess it will be a differentiation factor as well, but it will just get really easy to get started. So I think especially with AI like taking over jobs and all that, everybody will get into the creator economy, because it's a huge education shift right now happening, and it will be more and more soon. The formal people don't like formal education anymore, so they move into the online space, because they realize they can learn so many stuff from a YouTube video, like from a course or like whatever, right? So it will be this huge shift in the creator economy, especially in the educational space. And then the competition will be tough, will be really really hard to stand out at some point, because of the AI. But who's here first, like who started now, or like even earlier, or even like, I don't know, in 1 year, to say, to something like that, they will have a better position, when this new wave, this new shift will happen, so they can actually teach those people, hey, you should do this, should, just basically like coach them on how to build their online business and personal brand. So I would say AI plays a huge role, because it's really scalable. So like nowadays, I write one tweet in 1 second. I write one long form piece in 5 minutes. I send a daily email, which takes me like 5 minutes to write. So it's I can scale my impact, my personal brand's impact, like really big, because as I said, I don't scale my typing. I scale my thinking. So I scale I scale my ideas, and I just outsource the typing on AI. But yeah, it will get really competitive. To cut the story short, it will get really competitive. Good content will be everywhere. So it will be really hard to stand out, really hard to make it work. That's what I.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense to me, and I think we've already started to get to like this inflection point where we are not getting um, better LLM, so to speak, such as something that has like takes that has like a leap. For example, like GPT-4 had a leap over ChatGPT. Nowadays, it's just probably slightly better than the remaining LLMs, and I guess that's probably because if we are running out of data to train the LLM, so we have to wait for new data to be collected, or to for us to train AI models on. I think. Uh, okay. Thank you for having this conversation. Yeah, it means a lot, and thank you for being a part of this podcast.
No, thank you, Aditya. Yeah, really appreciate you having me. Thank you for the invite. It's been a blast having a chat together, and it's been a pleasure finally having to meet the founder behind Pmfm. I love the software. I love the app. Like I can't imagine my workflow without Pmfm. To be honest. So definitely
Yes.
a good platform.
All right. Thank you for talking to me again. All right. I'll end it now.